G7, back to C, G7, and C. That was our friend Evie playing the chords to school today. That's exactly what I want you to do. Now, what's a chord? Well, a chord is when you play two or more notes together and they sound nice. Now, in this song we've got two really easy chords, a C and a G7. If we have a look over here, you'll notice that what I've drawn is a picture of the first three frets of your guitar. You'll notice that this block here represents the nut. This line down here represents the first fret. This is the second, and this is the third fret. Now you'll notice that the strings gradually go from thicker to thin. And you'll also notice a big black circle there. That's where I'm going to place my first finger. So you'll see that my first finger is going to be placed up against the nut here in that fret, but not on the first or the skinniest string. It's going to be played on the second string. Okay, so I'm going to place my finger just there, and as it turns out, it's on a C note. So I'm going to place my finger on a C, and you'll notice this little arrow down here heading toward the floor. I'm going to strum 1, 2, 3 strings. And that's going to give us our C chord. Now if you have a look down here, you'll notice to get a G7 chord, we don't put our finger on a G note. No, it doesn't quite work that way. Good thinking though. We're going to move our first finger onto the F note. So you can see that that big black dot has just moved toward the floor. Okay, and there it is there. So I'm going to put my first finger in that spot there, and you'll notice that the arrow goes from the fourth string down to the first string. So I'm able to play 4 strings. Okay, so let's go to the start. Notice we have a different sort of a note head here. Where we were playing simply notes, the note was round. This is more of an oblong or a rectangle shape. It's to tell you that these are chords. So what we are playing here is a C chord, and we're going to strum 4 tars in this bar and then 2 tars in this bar, followed by a tar R. So that will go like this. Ta, 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 R. Can you do that? Ready, go. Ta, 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 ah. Now, by the way, this simile bar, you notice there are 2 lines and 2 dots. So the 2 lines represent the fact that we repeat the previous 2 bars, which are these 2 bars here. So I play, then you play. You play exactly the same as me. Now, we're up to the G7. So I'm going to move my first finger from the C note to the F note, and I have the same rhythm. Ta, 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 and go. Ta, 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 ta. Now we're back to C, so I'm going to move my first finger back from the F note to the C note. Ta, 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 go. Ta, 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 ta. Down to G7. Now this is quite tricky because we only have 4 G7s, and then without stopping you have to change to C very quickly. Now watch me carefully. I'm going to strum 4 G7s, and then without a break I'm going to change my finger from the F note to the C note. So watch this carefully. Here we go. G7 and then to C. Can you do that? Ready, go. G7 and change to C. I'll do that one more time for you. Put your finger on the G7 or finger on the F for the G7. That's ta, 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 then C chord. And go. G7, then C. So you might want to practice that. That's a little bit of a challenge, going from that G7 to C without stopping. And with your right hand, just make sure that your thumb is strumming 4 strings for the G7 and 3 strings for the C. Right, now it's time to play along. If you're playing along with your backing track, don't forget it's track number 9. So as we've been working our way through, you'll have to go back to the to track number 9. Okay, here we go. Finger on C, after me. Ready, go. I have travelled a long way. Next line, G7. Ta, 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 back to C. And go. C, 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 C. 4 G7s. Quickly change to C. Ready, go. G7, C, back to the start. Third line. G7 to C. Hi Simon and Dorothy, and thanks for joining us for some more flashcard work. Righto, boys and girls at home, are you able to tell me what the name of this note is? Now, have a look at it. It sits on top of the line here. So as you know, our notes go up in alphabetical order, but we don't have a prompt for this note. So as our notes go up in alphabetical order, we can say that the last note that we do have a prompt for would be F, which sits on that line. Every good boy deserves fruit. And the next note above F in alphabetical order must be a G. Can you show us how you play G? Boys and girls at home, can you play G? Ready, go. G. Fantastic. All right. Have a look at this note, boys and girls. Can you tell me what that would be? First of all, is it in a line or in a space? On a line or in a space? Well, the lines are on either side of the note, so it's in a space. So our prompt is F, A, C, E, and being on the third line from the bottom, it must be a C. So, get your fingers ready and play a C. 1, 2, ready, go. C. Great. Have a look at this note. Boys and girls at home, have you got that note? Is it in a space or on a line? It must be on a
line.
On a line. And our prompt is every good boy deserves fruit, so the note must be a
D.
D. Alright, let's play D. Are we ready to play D? 1, 2, ready, go. Fantastic. Oh, here's a tricky one. Remember when we did I Love Football? We learned that this note, we learned that we have 3 notes written, but we only play 2. That's because 2 notes are joined by a tie. Now a tie is like having tying a 2-meter piece of rope to a 1/2 meter piece of rope. You tie them together, you have 1 piece of rope that goes for 2.5 meters. Right. So, in other words, we have 1 note that's now going to go for 2.5 beats. Alright, so it's just 1 long note. Alright, what's the name of this note? Have a good look at that. You've played it before. Simon and Dorothy, have a look at this note here. Can you play that for me? Boys and girls at home, now remember the rhythm. Titans. Let's play that together. Are we ready? 1, 2, ready, go. Titans. Very good. Okay, boys and girls at home, what does that sign mean? Do we play anything when we see that, or do we not play? What do you think, Simon and Dorothy?
Not play.
You don't play. Tacit means don't play. All right, here, have a look at this. Are these notes or chords?
Chords.
They're chords. So, it's a C chord, and how many C chords do we play? Have a look at that, Simon and Dorothy. How many C chords do we play, boys and girls?
4.
4 C chords. So we might just play the basic C chord, the beginner C chord. Are you ready to play
Is
that?
that it?
Yep, that's the one. And on the count of 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Strum, 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 strum. Okay. Now, is this a note or a chord?
Note.
It's a note. Is it on a line or a space?
Space.
It's in a space. What's our prompt for the spaces?
FACE.
And being on the second space from the bottom, it must be an A. Boys and girls at home, get ready and we'll play an A together using our second finger for A. Are you ready? 1, 2, ready, go. A. I really need to tune that guitar. Okay. And are these notes or are these chords?
Chords.
They're chords. And what is the chord?
G7.
G7. Can we play a G7?
I have no idea how to.
You have no idea how to play a G7? Boys and girls at home, do you remember how to play a G7? Okay, can you put your first finger on the F note? And we'll strum 4 strings. Let's hear yours, Simon and Dorothy. Ready, go. That's it. All right, boys and girls at home, let's get ready and we'll play 4 G7s. Ready? 1, 2, ready, play. Strum, 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 strum. Now, this is tricky. C, G, F, C. Have a look at that. C, G, F, C. Who thinks they can play that?
Me.
Dorothy, would you like to give that a go? C, G. Is it a high G or a low G, Dorothy?
Whoops. High G.
It's a high G. C, G, F, C. Try that again, Dorothy. Simon? Simon and Dorothy have actually played this before. This is the football challenge. The I Love Football challenge. How fast can you do that, Dorothy?
2:16.
Let's give us a demonstration. How fast can you do it, Simon? Fantastic. Boys and girls at home, we don't need to do it that fast just now. Let's try that together. About this speed. I love football. Let's go. I love. Maybe one more time. I love football. Again. One more time. Fantastic.
CGFC.
Yeah. Okay. This sign here. It's a thick line, a thin line, and it has the 2 dots. What does that mean? What do you think, Simon and Dorothy?
Repeat.
It's a repeat sign, but it's a corresponding repeat sign. We repeat to that position there. And that brings us back to the start of our flashcards. Thanks, Simon and Dorothy.